Okay, listen, this is really exciting. A whole new way of doing this advice program. I got a phone call this morning and had a very interesting conversation with a John Gardner, and he asked me to call him Buzz. Uh, in any event, I had an interesting conversation with him, and he had a question, of course, for me. I am the advice guru for old people, and I realized I didn't have. They call it an interface that connects the telephone to the equipment. By the way, people who do the air quotes, don't you think they're kind of egomaniacs and just too proud of themselves? Where was I? Oh, yeah, interface. All right, so I don't have an interface, but I do have, you may not have known this, a steel trap mind and what was the other one? Photographic, I keep doing that. Photographic memory. And so what I'm going to do is recreate for you the conversation we had. It's not quite the same as hearing him, but I've got a telephone here. It's an old telephone. Remember corded phones? Got to fill all this crap here. Anyway, I have a great phone, and I'm going to then simulate the conversation. Before I do, I want to tell you a little bit about our guest, though, our questioner, and he was very difficult to talk to when I asked him about where he was, but I got him to tell me he was in the Detroit area, and I grew up there, 1,000 years ago, but I grew up there and was familiar with the area, and so I asked him kind of where he was, and again, he was very reluctant to tell me, but nonetheless, I finally got it out that he was in Grosse Pointe, which is just a little north of Detroit. Oh, that could be him calling right now. Hold on a second. No, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. So, in any event, I've got a telephone here, and I'm going to recreate the conversation. So, and again, just before I do that, we finished up with, when he told me he lived in Grosse Pointe, and I said I was familiar with the area. Of course, I could never afford to live there, but I was familiar with the area. And he said that's all he could tell me. I pressed him a bit more. Turns out he lives on Lake St. Clair, the kind of shore area there off of Jefferson. And of all places, he lives right next door to the Chrysler family estate. What a great location. In any event, let me recreate the conversation. It was pretty brief, and here we go. And remember, his name's John Gardner, but he wants to be called a Buzz. Okay. So, Buzz, good morning. Hey, thank you for calling. How can I help you? See, now this would be his response. And Buzz says, "Are you insane? Are you trying to get me killed?" And I said, "Well, no, it's not like you're in the secret witness program, is it?" And then the line went dead. But you know how it is sometimes when you hang up your phone and it really isn't completely hung up and you can still hear people for a bit. So I could swear I heard something. And again, remember, steel trap mind and a permanent memory, a photographic memory. But what I heard was, everybody grab your bags. We have to leave here permanently for St. Louis in 10 minutes. I couldn't figure out what's going on. So unfortunately, we really never got to his question. I'm hoping when Buzz gets to St. Louis, that he'll give me a call and we can finish that up. Now, I want to tell you of another major event. I've been using the 8-ball to kind of reinforce my advice. Well, you know by now that it's transistorized. In fact, it has at least now 2 transistors. But where is all the knowledge of the world? Where can you get truth by merely pressing a button? That's right. Facebook, Twitter, okay? And by the way, Facebook especially has some amazing medical advice. You need to pay close attention. So how do I get the 8-ball to connect to the internet and the billions of people that are on it at any given point? And here's the answer. We set it up, the staff and I set it up and added Wi-Fi. So now I get not only the advice of the 8 ball, but I get the knowledge of the world. So I'm going to ask the question that's been bugging me for a long time, and that is when I ask about my advice. So my question now to the world, not just this 8 ball, is anybody who would take advice from you, all right, now I should get a different answer, is still a moron.